nobody gets the obsession and they think it's weird. So just calm down. Hi! So, on Sunday, I got to see Mariah Carey live in concert, and to say it was incredible would be a lie because it was just an understatement. End of video, goodbye. Bye. Like I would let this video be 1 minute long when I went to a Mariah Carey concert. Not gonna happen. So, Sunday we got up and I, was excited. It was like every single Christmas morning that I'm ever going to experience all came at once. Plus I had kids and grandkids. That is how excited I was. It was, okay, so I'll start from the very beginning. Boyfriend's mum drove us from where he lives. Drove to Grantham, and we got the train from Grantham to Nottingham, and the train was like half an hour. I think in that half an hour, Greg probably wanted to kill me or himself. I'm gonna have a guess at about 50,000 times. I don't want to blame him because I probably would have done the same thing. So we went to Nando's and I was very reluctant to eat a full meal because it's gonna sound really, really pathetic and sad, but I didn't want to eat because I was scared of having so much or eating, and because I was so excited, I felt sick and I didn't want to see food regurgitated. So, but I actually got up to the counter at Nando's, and while I was going up to the counter, I was like, do I get a full meal or do I just get like mozzarella sticks or like halloumi or you know what? But when I got up there, the woman said that on my Nando's card, I can get my whole meal for free. And I'm like, go on then. So I did. And in honor of Mariah Carey, I got a chicken butterfly. So then we had a look around the Christmas market and we went into, funny story. We went into this shopping centre and I could hear singing. I can't remember what Christmas song it was, but it was a Christmas song. I think it was Joy to the World. And it's one of my favourite ones. So I started singing along, but very, like, kind of like, I wasn't taking the mickey. I was just singing along to the music that was being played. But Greg so kindly pointed out that it was in fact a choir. And the choir was right in front of me. And I've never run out of a shopping centre so fast in my life. I didn't run, I speed walk, but hey. So we went to the arena, Nottingham Motorpoint Arena, and we were slightly early, about 4 hours early, and it was great fun, you know, sitting around, drinking. I didn't want any alcohol because I wanted to stay completely sober for Mariah and remember everything. I didn't want anything to hinder my experience. So the days leading up to Sunday, I would listen to Mariah's Christmas albums, and this euphoric feeling would just come over me, and I would be like, I'm gonna be in the same room as her, and I would get tearful. I'm not afraid to say I got tearful. So I got tearful, and so Saturday night, I was starting to do my own head in, and I just needed to go to sleep. But instead I stayed up until like 2 or 3 in the morning watching Dickensian, I'm going on a tangent. So we went around the Christmas market. I made a fool out of myself because I started like mimicking this, what I thought was speakers playing a Christmas song, but in fact it was a choir. So we got to the arena at like 3 or 4 p.m. and Mariah wasn't due to come on for another 4 hours. Like she was due on stage at like 8:30. We got there at about 4. but the doors didn't open until 6:30. So we went round and there was this guy saying, oh, you know, go and get a coffee, whatever. So I went and got coffee and was waiting around and things. And then, you know, it got to about 6 o'clock and I was like, right, let's go and stand at the gate waiting because I want to be first in line for the merch. And so while I was there, I was like deciding what I was going to get and, you know, was waiting and was talking to fellow fans, and there was two particular girls that really wound me up because the bouncer guy was like, oh, where are you seated? And they were like, oh, we're in the front row, da 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 da. Their next words were, I think she's just a bit of a bitch. Why did you buy front row seats, which cost a bum, only to say that she's a bitch? Like, if you hated somebody that much to call them a bitch, would you honestly buy front row seats? Like, I wouldn't buy front row seats for a Jennifer Lopez concert. Anyway, so the doors opened and for about half an hour, we were talking to the door guy, and I was like, oh, is Mariah here yet? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And that's obviously like a formality they have to do because of course she was there. It's like 2 hours before, she's got to rehearse and things. But so we, it was, so the doors opened and I rushed to the merch and I had in my head what I wanted already. And I got it. So this video is kind of like a haul, also an experience video. I don't know what you call it. So I got this top, which is the cover of her first Christmas album called Merry Christmas, which is the best-selling Christmas album of all time. One of, I think. It's definitely one of. And it has like the tour dates on the back, and it's all glittery and things, and then I got this. And I always find like sizes to be like, no matter where I go shopping, I always find it really difficult to like gauge a size, and plus I get really paranoid because when I wash things I don't want to shrink them. Like, it's bad enough if I buy a top from like Primark and I've got to shrink it, but when I buy like a top from a Mariah concert that's like £50, if I shrink it, don't expect to ever see me again. But anyway, I got this top which says "All I Want for Christmas Is You," Mariah Carey, and it's just plain on the back. And I got this like a size bigger than I am because I want to be comfortable. And then something that most people had there, and I'm definitely going to be wearing it this Christmas, is a Santa hat with her initials on it too. So that is what I got from the concert, and it cost a fair amount, but she's worth it. So we were seated in the arena at our seats, and when we first got in there, I was like, oh, we're going to be so far away, and I'm just going to want to, you know, she's going to be like a pinprick, and I'm not going to see her or anything. And I was like, I'm going to have to look at the screens that they have. And I was like, I'm here, that's all that matters. And when I got into the arena, I was like, wow, it's not actually as big as I thought it was going to be. And we got to our seats and I'm like, oh, we're so close. And it was just amazing. And we sat down for 2 hours. We had to wait 2 hours for her to come on stage because she's Mariah Carey. And I love her, and we had to wait for her. So we had to wait like, so the doors opened at 6:30. The DJ came on at like 7:30, and then she came on at 8:30. She was 2 minutes late, but She's allowed to be because she's Mariah Carey. And the whole time, Greg was just like, are you gonna cry? You're gonna cry. And I was like, I probably will cry. Mariah! So the house lights went down and all you could see was the like a wreath with MC and like the MC thing that I just showed you. And a ballerina came onto the stage and was dancing to, I think, the Nutcracker, one of the songs from the Nutcracker. And then my heart started to race and I started to get emotional then. And then the ballerina kind of waltzed out of the way. So the ballerina went backstage and did whatever she had to do. And it all went silent. And then all of a sudden, the music started to play for Hark the Herald Angels Sing, which is one of my favourite Christmas songs. So the curtains went up or down, I can't really remember. It was hard to take in. So the curtain went up or down and Mariah Carey, the global superstar, the multi-Grammy, award-winning singer with more number ones than any solo artist, was there in front of me and a couple of other people. And she just looked so amazing. And she had angel wings on and she had this gown on that looked like a wedding dress. And she just looked amazing. And then she opened her mouth and started singing, and that was me gone. I was beside myself. I was crying. I was trying to film on my phone, but I couldn't do it that well because I was shaking so much. I thought I was going to be sick. I thought I was going to pass out. All the while, Greg is stood to my left, practically wetting himself and looking at Mariah. It was just breathtaking. And you're all probably expecting me to say that, but it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. And she's just amazing. And I don't care what anybody says. She's back. She didn't go anywhere, but she looked incredible. She sounded incredible. And she's just incredible. So on to the next bit. She sang Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and then she sang Charlie Brown Christmas. I'm not going to go through the whole set list because we'll be here for an hour and a half. But so she sang Charlie Brown Christmas, and then she sang a couple of other songs from her Christmas albums, and then her backing singers, Little Boy, came on, and I think it's 9 or 10. And he came on and sang a Christmas medley, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Jingle Bells, and I think one other song. And he did so well, absolutely incredibly well. Like I said, he's about 9 or 10, and I really, if I was to be 9 or 10 again, I wish, and my mum or my mum's boss, Mariah, was to ask me, oh, do you want to go on stage and sing? I got nervous when I had to stand up in assembly on my own, let alone standing in front of a whole arena. I don't know how many it held, but thousands of people in front of me. I think I would have just passed out. But he did so incredibly well, and he was dancing, and as he went off stage, he I think he dabbed. It was just incredible. And then she sang a song called The Star, which she wrote for a film last year called The Star. I don't know if any of you have seen it. You should definitely watch it because it's amazing. And it was just, that is when I really, really cried. The first note she sang of The Star, I was gone. And then she brought the kids out, she brought Monroe and Moroccan out, and she was like talking to them and like interacting with them, and it was just incredible. They were cute and adorable, and then they'd sing backup on The Star along with Jaden, which is Marianne's, her backing singer's son, who sang the medley. And they did so well. And I know they've been, brought up in that environment and they're used to big crowds screaming and things, but there's one thing being used to it, but there's another thing in actually standing there in front of thousands of people and actually singing. So, yeah. And then, okay, there was this one person which I wanted to push over, if I'm entirely honest with you. Maybe a little bit more, something more aggressive, but... So, there was this guy behind me that kept going down to the front, not to the front, but closer, like maybe like the 6th row or something, and taking pictures of close up. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. So I went down and took a video and took pictures. And this girl stood next to me, looked at me and went, do you want to go back to your seat? One, don't even get on the wrong side of me when I'm trying to be the good, well-behaved person I am in front of Mariah Carey. And 2, name all of her albums in sequence, like in chronological order, name her number ones, and then you could go back to my seat, because I'm probably more deserving of your seat, because you probably don't even know her album names, her single name. Like, you're probably just some wannabe. Yeah, I said it. She just wound me up. And so I looked at her and went, yeah, whatever. And carried on taking pictures and filming. How dare she? It was incredible. And would I do it all again? Hell yeah. And then, so we finished the concert and she came on and sang All I Want for Christmas Is You. She sang a song from her new album, Caution, The Distance. And she, throughout the whole thing, there wasn't one bum note. And to my trained ear, like, I'm not one of these fans that, okay, so us Mariah fans are called lambs. And lambs and sheep are followers. And I do follow Mariah, like, profusely. Like, I love the woman. But when she does something that I don't like, I'm going to say it. I'm not a sheeple, as people say. I'm not a yes man. Like, everything she does isn't absolutely incredible. But, and like, because I've grown up with her music since I was 2, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. But because I've grown up with her since I was 2 years old, I know every song, I know every ad-lib, I know every backing vocal. So I know, like, my ear just instantly knows when something is lipped. And I can honestly say there wasn't one time in an hour and a half to 2 hours where I was like, that's lipped. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was just in a state of euphoria and blinded or deafened to it or whatever. But I can honestly say there wasn't one high note, there wasn't one whistle where I thought, that's lipped, that's lip synced. I just can't do it. And she wore some of the most amazing costumes, like the angel wings and the wedding dress-esque ensemble. She wore, it might have been the same dress, and they just took the puffy bit off the dress and to leave just I don't know how it works. But then she wore like this hood with like baubles like down near her chest, and it was, every single outfit she wore was incredible, which is what I'm trying to get across. Everything. And then she went off and wore like this red number with a fluffy jacket, and it was just amazing. And then she went off and wore, I don't know how you describe it, like a nutcrackery type thing. To sing All I Want for Christmas Is You, and she sang Hero and We Belong Together, and it was just amazing. And not everything in this video is in chronological order because I'm the least organised person in the world. But yeah, so it was a very good night. And she went off stage at about 10, 10:15. And then I met my friend who I've known, or who I've been speaking to for probably like near on 10 years. So I met him and we were going to go for drinks, but we decided to stand outside around the back for Mariah to come out for about 2 hours, which, now I think about it, it was absolutely freezing, but I couldn't tell. And then her backing singer came out, Trey Lawrence, who she sings I'll Be There With, came out and was speaking to the fans. And I showed him the picture of me and Mariah when I met her in 2005. And he was like, oh my goodness, that top, I remember. He said t-shirt, not top. And then one of her dancers came out and was speaking to fans for quite a while. And then Greg, before I'd got down to the gate, went down there to see what was happening, and Brian Tanaka, Mariah's boyfriend, was outside, so he got a picture of him. I'll try and put it in somewhere here. Just before Mariah came out, her makeup artist went past. We were all starting to lose hope that she was coming out, like she'd been like whisked away in a helicopter or something. And then all of a sudden, one person just shouted at Mariah, so we all shouted at Mariah. Then the kids came out, and bearing in mind this was like at 11:30 midnight, 11:30 to midnight, so it was pretty late, and she had to put the kids to bed or whatever. So she came over to the gate and I saw her forehead and her right eye. But 13 years ago, I sat down with her for half an hour and spoke to her, which I will make a whole video about that experience, because that was, it still is the best day of my life. And so I saw her right eye and her forehead, and she was like, I'm really sorry, but I gotta go. So she went back in her coach to a bus and went to wherever she's staying. I don't even know where she's staying while she was over here. And me and Greg went to Subway at midnight, went back to the hotel, ate Subway and slept. And came back yesterday, and I did have I don't know what you call it. It's like, you know when you're built up to something, you know when you've been built up to something and then it happens and then you just fall down. It was like that. It was very, it was a strange feeling because it felt like a hangover, but it wasn't a hangover. It was a Mariah over. It was horrible. And I hope she brings her Caution World Tour over here, because I'll go to that too. But yeah, it was an incredible experience, and I think Greg enjoyed it as well. He's not the most festive person, so being in a room surrounded by Christmas songs probably wouldn't have been his number one choice, but because it was for me, he did it. But yeah, so it was a very enjoyable experience, and I just keep reliving it, and I keep looking through my camera roll and seeing the pictures and the videos I took, and a little tear comes to my eye, and it was just incredible. What more can I say? So it was great. I keep saying it, and I don't think she's got one bad review for the tour so far. Not that I've seen anyway, which is good. All I Want for Christmas Is You is number 7 on Billboard at the moment. Could go to number 1 this year, which will be her 19th number 1. But yeah, so it was a crazy experience, and I just keep reliving it. I keep having flashbacks, and it was just incredible. And just hang on. But anyway, so I'm gonna end this video because it is now just over half an hour long. Thank you for watching. I hope I haven't been speaking too fast because of the Mariah fever I have. But yeah, I will post a photo on my Instagram of the merch that I got, for those of you that want to see it more in depth. And thank you for watching, and share this video because maybe Mariah will see it and how much I love her. But if not, then share it anyway. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.